Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and today quite possibly could be the day I finally get my new to me CAMMED Procharged 1999 Mustang GT running properly. I'm trying to get this thing running before the weekend because if it doesn't run today, it's not gonna run properly into sometime next week. And honestly, I do want to enjoy this thing during the weekend, so we're gonna see if we can go ahead and change the fuel filter, and hopefully this does fix the issues the car is having, because that is what the symptoms are leading to. Now, if the fuel filter does not fix this, obviously we're gonna have to go ahead and replace the fuel pump, get a retune, and that should go ahead and fix the issues we're having. Let me go ahead and show you guys exactly what I got in the car right now, because we're gonna swap some things over. But if you guys do enjoy the content of the channel, feel free to drop a like in the video, subscribe to the channel, and also turn on those post notifications. Let's get right into it. Now, as you guys can see here, we have a lot of things that's gonna be going on in the car within the next couple of days. I have a brand new AEM AFR gauge. The one that's in the car right now, I really don't like it. This is gonna be the new X gauge option. I had this on the white new Edge. I had this on the FRS at some point, so definitely gonna go ahead and get this in the car right now, because this one, it's old school. It works, but it's not hooked up. And honestly, since it's not hooked up, I'm gonna put something in here that I'm familiar with. Now, this is gonna be the fuel filter. This is gonna be a Holley fuel filter. This is the one that I'm like 99.9% sure I need with the fuel pump that's in the car right now. So we're gonna go ahead and swap out the fuel filter that's in the car right now. You guys can tell the one that's in the car, if you can see it in there, hopefully you can. It's not a Holley fuel filter, but it has a Holley pump, what I'm told. So that literally could be the issue I'm having right now, which I'm pretty sure it is, because I know these fuel filters can cause all sorts of problems, especially if the car is on E85. And you guys can see here that I do have a new catch can. Now, I've actually went ahead and replaced the filter that's on the catch can on the car currently, because that one was completely broken. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap this over, not today, but in a later date. So you guys can see here, I went ahead and put a new fuel filter on the catch can that's on the car right now. This is actually the fuel filter from the new catch can that I do have, but I'm actually gonna have this installed by somebody that knows exactly what they're doing, because the new catch can is designed to be mounted up in a little better location. I don't like the way this is actually mounted up right now. This honestly could have been causing the issue, because it literally was just like hanging off. Now that it's actually sealed off and air's not getting in there, you know, moisture's not getting in there, that could have fixed the issue. I haven't driven the car since I did go ahead and replace that, but all this is gonna get kind of cleaned up a lot better within the next couple of days. So hopefully the fuel filter and that was the issue, and I'm able to drive the car. So fingers crossed, boys, this is what the car needed to run right, because I really want to be able to drive this car this weekend. But if not, oh well, it's gonna go to CUND and racing, and it's gonna get dialed in all at the same time. So, you know, worst case scenario, next time I jump in the car and drive it, it's gonna be making some steam. I'm gonna catch up with you guys once everything is kind of installed and we get a verdict. Alright, so it's been like a week since those clips, so don't think that that was like a couple days ago. It's been like a week. All the shops in the area are on vacation right now and really don't have any ETA on when I'm able to get this car in, which is quite unfortunate, because I have yet to be able to actually drive and enjoy this car since I bought it. But for some reason, like this car, I have been determined to get this thing running myself. Like, If you know me, if you know how I kind of move in the channel, if I don't know something, I just send it to a shop, get it done right, and I don't really wrench on it because, in fear of messing something up. That's not the case with this car, man. I've been trying to get this thing running. I've been firing the parts can a little bit, not too crazy, just replacing things here and there that I see that I don't like, things that are going bad. So hopefully, I think I found the issue, and it makes sense because I believe my fuel rail pressure sensor has gone bad / really wasn't even plugged in, and I know that will cause issues, and I was getting the code for that as well. So we're gonna go ahead and replace that, and hopefully we can drive this car around. Now right here we got the fuel pressure regulator, and like the sensor that goes into that bung, like it really wasn't even in all the way. The O-ring was kind of leaking a little bit. So I'm assuming that that was the cause of the issues. Here is the old pressure sensor, so we're gonna go ahead and replace this. This is like really old, really crummy. So we're gonna swap this out, button everything up, plug that harness back in, and hopefully we can get the car to start, man. Fingers crossed, and it can actually drive. Merge in my lane, don't you dare do that. But it's a couple hours later. Obviously, since I'm in the Shelby, the 99 is not running. Now unfortunately, that actually what this guy, I had to get away from that guy. I don't think he really knew what the hell he was doing. I don't like being behind these damn service trucks either. But obviously, since I'm in the Shelby and not in the 99, what I thought would fix the problem did not fix the problem. Now the issue that I'm facing, because I couldn't get that car running, is honestly I don't know when I'll be able to get the car running, because all the shops, literally all the shops in my area are on vacation right now, and I don't know when I can get a better set of eyes and hands on the car that knows a little bit more about the setup and the issues that I could be running into. Because the last thing I want to do is really start firing that parts cannon and buying fuel pumps, fuel pressure regulators, just a bunch of expensive parts that may or may not need to be addressed. I'd rather go ahead, like I said, take it somewhere that they can go ahead and diagnose the issue, tell me what needs to be done so we can go ahead and make a decision and replace what needs to be done, or obviously the alternative depending on how bad the car was put together. Now, I am now starting to understand fully. Woo! Them downshifts, man. Whenever you're feeling down, whenever you're feeling upset, irritated, just jump into 350. Hit the downshifts. You'll be all right. But like I was saying, man, I'm really starting to understand why everybody says never buy somebody's project. This car was running completely fine on the test drive. It broke down on the way home. That stereotypical, you buy a car that's, been used and it breaks down on the way home. Now, obviously, when you go ahead and look at a car, you can't really get deep hands-on until you get it in your own possession. You're unable to, obviously jack it up and get it on a lift, start tearing things down and really take a look at things. Once I actually started to take a look at things in that car, because I went ahead and, took the seats out, cleaned up some things that I didn't like, and obviously with that battery relocation that's in the trunk of that car, a lot of the wires that they kind of ran through, underneath the carpet, because I did go ahead and
peel the carpet back a little bit just to kind of go ahead and see, you know, how everything was wired out. A lot of those wires that I looked at, they were all burned, like, and a lot of things were disconnected. So it's very alarming. It's very scary. Obviously, things like this, you know, you're never gonna be able to tell, you know, when you actually go ahead and inspect the car. It's like when things go wrong and when you start to tear things apart, you start to look at things. I really am questioning who put the car together. Like I said earlier in the video, the fuel rail sensor, it was leaking at the O-rings. It wasn't in all the way. There's a lot of bolts on certain things that, you know, at first glance you wouldn't really notice, but once you, like I said, get the car and notice, a lot of bolts are missing. Just the car was put together very, very, very poorly. Now, I built up that FRS from the ground up. That car was bone stock when I got it. The 2-valve, it was just literally just a catback only car when I got it. Obviously, there were some things that I didn't like, the way the previous owner installed the long tubes, or not the long tubes, the short tube headers. They did that a really, really bad job. Obviously, when I put the long tubes on, that was done by me, so that was done properly. This car, bought it stock, pretty much went ahead and built it up the way, you know, how I like it. But that 99, man, I mean, whoever built that car, whoever put that car together does not need to touch a car ever again. It is put together so poorly. The wiring is horrible. A lot of burnt wires. Just really, really a sloppy setup. That's really have to say. It's a very half-assed, sloppy setup. And those backfires. Now, it doesn't make any sense because a lot of parts on that car are quality parts. I mean, it has the Vic Jr, it has the 6061 adapter, it has Maximum Motorsport suspension, QA1 K member. I mean, I don't understand why somebody would get a bunch of nice parts as far as, you know, a new Edge Mustang goes, and then put them together the way they were on that car. Now, the issue with this is, obviously, because I have to take this to a shop to get it looked at, because of how bad and how sloppy and how, like, you know, raggedy this whole car is put together, a lot of shops might not even want to touch it because just the hassle it's going to take just to go ahead and diagnose things. Which obviously, you know, it is what it is. That's what you have to, you know, deal with when buying a used car. But damn, I didn't really think it was that bad until I actually went ahead and, you know, got really into it. Now, I already know what could potentially happen after getting the car diagnosed. Because of the way the fuel system is set up right now with the sump tank, the external Holley pump, what more likely is going to happen is, you know, I'm going to be recommended to go to a full 4 return system and to just completely get rid of that entire setup, which theoretically is something that I was planning on doing down the line, but I definitely was not planning on doing that, you know, within the first couple of weeks of me having the car. Also, what could potentially happen is there could be a severe electrical issue as well, because there actually is some battery acid in the trunk that I did go ahead and take a look at after really going ahead and diving into the car. A lot of things with that car I just don't understand, and a lot of things need to be cleaned up. The AFR gauge was not wired up. The boost gauge was not wired up. Again, it drove fine on the test drive, so I just figured that it might have been just shorted out, because I've had an AFR gauge short out, actually 2 of them short out before, so I just figured out, you know, that might be an issue, but it wasn't even hooked up. The wires were stripped, so I don't know, man. We're gonna have to go ahead and figure out, you know, what's gonna have to happen with this car after it gets looked at. Hopefully, you know, I get word back within the next couple of days, because I really do want to be able to drive that car, but it's almost to the point where it's so clapped that I don't really want to put my name on it, because I mean, you guys have seen the builds on my channel. I mean, like I said, the FRS build, the 2-valve build, this build, that's, you know, build, it's not really even currently done. Never really will be done, because there's always things you can do. But, you know, I like to have my cars clean. I like to have my cars, you know, acceptable. I'm not really a car show person, don't really pop my hood, but again, I still like to have a clean car, so when things go wrong, I can easily track down and figure out what's going down, right? The FRS, a lot of quality parts on there. The 2-valve, I did get a lot of used parts, but I made sure they were actually, you know, quality used parts and they were installed properly. This build, you guys have seen, there are 0 new parts or used parts in this car, and you know, it's put together, you know, properly, and it runs, you know, how it should run. Just need to replace the clutch, you know, things that obviously are gonna need to be upgraded, right? Not replaced, upgraded. There's a huge difference between that. It's like, I don't even know if I want to put my name on that 2-valve build in all reality, depending on, you know, the severity of the issues it has, because it really is, it's a shit box at this point. It's a shit box. So hopefully, like I said, we'll get, you know, some update times in the next couple of days, after dropping it off at a shop. I hope it's something simple, man, like a sensor that I have not replaced that needs to be replaced, or, you know, maybe something's not hooked up right, which very well could be the case, but obviously it's out of my knowledge. I'm not too familiar, so I don't really want to be plugging on, you know, things, pulling things out, you know, taking things apart that I don't really know how to put back together. So just want to give you guys an update. Like I said, I keep it 110% on my channel. That car, as of right now, in my eyes, it is a shit box, man. I don't know if I want to put my name on it. It's ragged out, it's clapped out. It was put together by, you know, some backwood rookies that, you know, in all reality, you know, the car might have to be torn down and brought back up, which the body's not even that clean. So I don't know, we'll see what goes down, man. I don't want to make this a negative video, because it really isn't a negative video, because I don't have 100%, you know, confirmation on what's going down. But like I said, always, you know, have a contingency plan, always have a plan B. I have a plan B, but as of right now, man, I don't know. It's just gonna sit until it gets a better set of eyes and hands on it, because it don't really look too good. I ain't gonna lie, it don't really look too good. You know, thank God the car still starts up. At least it still starts up. So we'll see what goes down, man. It starts up, it runs for about 5 minutes, and then it just, it kind of shits the bed. But I'll catch you in the next video on the 99 when I get some updates.